All right, so I've got the $1,000,000 question. How do you know when somebody is actually hitting on you? Do you ever feel a little bit on the oblivious side and actually wonder, oh, hold on, did somebody hit on me a few minutes ago? Well, I am Jacqueline, and I am the founder and creator of Discover Love Matches. And I've been matching, guiding, and supporting people for what now feels like a million years in the best way. I just have been having such a great time talking and supporting singles at all stages of their love journey. And one of the biggest things that I do get asked is about flirting, interaction, and kind of how many times people miss the opportunity. So years ago, I used to offer a service where I would take clients out to go flirting. I would teach them how to flirt in real time. We also had workshops on flirting, master the art of flirting. And it was pretty freaking amazing how many people completely suck at flirting. They have no clue what signals they're sending. It's like throwing darts at a dartboard with your eyes covered, no visual, no idea if you're even facing the right wall, the right map, or anything. And this is happening all of the time when it comes to dating. So there's one thing about you flirting, but there's a whole nother thing about you receiving flirting. And as somebody who has done this with many clients, I am absolutely blown away how many times I have to admit I literally want to smack my client on the back of the head with a loving touch and be like, did you see that guy was totally hitting on you? That girl was checking you out up and down. And they're like, what? What are you talking about? We are so oblivious so much of the time when people are noticing us. And then I get the comments from people saying, I've never had an opportunity. Nobody's interested in me. Nobody's checking me out. And I'm like, oh my gosh, hello. But we have to stop and pause and learn, first and foremost, how to receive the attention. Now, it is a compliment, regardless of your confidence level. It is still a compliment when somebody says, hey, I've noticed you, in whatever way that they're doing it. But it's also not always easy to receive. It's easy to think, hey, wouldn't it be great if somebody noticed me and checked me out? But we miss these opportunities all of the time. So what I think is really fun and super exciting is to take a moment to kind of do your own like out of body moment. Like if you were to take a part of you, step outside of your body and watch how you've interacted. Like replay some situations when somebody's been talking to you and later you go, huh? Like I had this wonderful girlfriend that we used to go out all the time, and she would have these conversations and people talk to her, and then she'd start talking to me again. And then a little bit later she'd go, oh, well, where did that guy go? And I'm like, he was totally hitting on you, but you didn't respond. You just talked like a normal conversation. You had no flirting with you. You had no eye contact. You were just information transferring of knowledge. And so he moved on. And then she's like, what? I didn't realize he was hitting on me, but he was kind of cute. I'm like, exactly. You can't catch up 1, 2, 3, 5, 20 minutes later. You actually have to respond and reciprocate and acknowledge when somebody notices you. So there are many ways that we flirt. I mean, it's so much fun as a matchmaker because I watch people's peacock feathers kind of poof up and their body language changes, whether, you know, their shoulders go back, they look up more, they're smiling bigger, they're making better eye contact. Maybe it's just in how they kind of do their walk, but also it's how people connect. We're all looking for that icebreaker moment. Like when somebody starts to talk to you, they want to know how to get in there with a conversation. Maybe they're just going to walk up to you and have a little fun joke to say that gets your attention. Recently, I was out with a friend and we were shopping, but we weren't together. We were in different sections. And then I circled back and I totally saw this guy hitting on her. And she was looking at some produce she wanted to purchase. And he just walked up and he goes, oh, I picked that one. And she's like, well, hey, I'll take your advice, not knowing anything about the guy, but just letting it roll in a positive. She didn't respond negative, like a lot of people become kind of defensive. And he said, well, I'm getting ice cream instead. And then that turned into a conversation. And before you knew it, he was like, I am not leaving without getting her phone number. So yes, when somebody asks for your phone number, that is a definite touchdown that you have made a interest of connection. But sometimes we take a little bit to actually get the interest to know how to say, can I ask for your number? Can I ask some more things? It's really about you letting that other person know in a soft yet subtle yet direct way that you're actually single and available. It's one thing to be like, hey, how are you? It's nice to see you. It's nice to, talk to you for a moment. And then you can be very direct and be like, hey, I'm totally single. I bet you're not single. A little reverse psychology can go a long way. And then the person responds much more of like, oh, well, yeah, I am. And they might be saying, hey, how could you be single? What is it about you? And then you kind of find yourself, well, I'm having a good time. I'm having fun. Or I just got out of a relationship, or I've been focused on personal work. Sometimes we can overshare, but the point is they're trying to find out if you are single and available and interested. Now, I think people spend too much time wondering or worrying if they should exchange phone numbers, what they should do next. The reality is you'll probably never bump into each other again. So go ahead and give your number. Save yourself from over worrying about it. If there's ever an issue, you can block them. You can just say, after all, I'm not interested. But you will kick yourself more if you don't take that step. There have been plenty of times clients have talked about moments that they met somebody really cool, they had such a good conversation, and then the person walked off and continued on their way, and later they're like, I think they were hitting on me, but I didn't realize it. I didn't catch it. Like the darts were being thrown at the board, but they were still blindfolded. So one of the most important things to become more aware of your eligibility energy that you're sending is your ability to acknowledge when somebody is talking to you, making connection, communicating with you. What so often happens is there's almost this insecurity that we don't realize we're projecting, that when someone talks to you, you actually think they want your opinion on the produce to buy, but really it's just a segue, it's a lead-in, it's a interest of intrigue. And then you have to decide, hey, why don't we just share information? Because then we'll at least have this information that we can follow up with later when you can reconnect, maybe you continue the conversation, or maybe nothing happens, but you won't wondering what if. Now, even if he hits on you and she is wondering what to do next, it's okay if you as the gal says, hey, did you want my information so we can continue this conversation? It's not being too forward, it's being clear, it's letting the other person know you're single and available. Now, if she's checking you out and you, as the man, are saying, hey, I kind of wonder if she's at all interested, it's really okay to just say, hey, you want to exchange information? Maybe we could catch up sometime and take a walk or get a drink or have dessert together. When you paint a picture of what you could do together later, it helps the other person actually kind of feel a little more at ease. It lets the other person know you're actually interested. And it also says, I'm being proactive. I'm not just waiting for good things to happen. Those are all very, very sexy qualities. And the truth of the matter is, if you don't ask, you will never know. So I am Jacqueline, and I'm going to keep this conversation going. My focus is to get you to start opening your eyes, look to the side, listen to what people are saying, and allow people to be attracted to you and allow yourself to be attracted to other people. Yes, I know sometimes signals get confusing, but I'd rather you have 10 confusing signals to get that one juicy, yummy, ever so tasty home run that will make you so glad that you kept believing in love. Let's talk about more details when we connect next time.